And then I just found myself like, okay, where do I fit in? And I think I'm still having that battle of where do I fit in? So I am like, I need to do everything to make sure that it gives me everything, right? So that's kind of where I am right now in my life, but I am always and will completely remain helping women.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so happy you're here because we don't just have one, but we have two incredible guests and fellow podcasters that are joining us here today. So, welcome to the episode, Renee Carbone Fleming and Sierra Whitener. Welcome, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, how are you?
Doing great. I'm
So
so
thrilled.
excited for our conversation today. I know we already had a little bit of a warm up before I clicked the record button, but you both are just incredible and have, you've been in direct sales world, you're entrepreneurs, you're launching books, you have a podcast, you're doing all of the things. So I can't even do justice in introducing you both here live on the podcast. I'm going to ask you to share us just a little bit about your story, what you do, who you serve, and how you got on this path of where you are today. So, Sierra, you want to start and do a quick intro?
I would love to. Thank you, Becky, so much for having us on the show. I've like been watching you for years. I thoroughly enjoy everything that you post, everything that you put out there. The direct selling world needs more people like you. And that is where I will start is my journey in direct started many, many, many years ago when I was in the army. And, even in the army, people need money. And so I started this little business, and little did I know I was kind of good at it. And, I continued my army career. I got out and I found myself falling right back into the arms of direct sales. I was like, you know what? I can do it in the convenience of my time. And I always found myself, no matter what I was doing or where I was in the world or the United States, that time is everything to me. And then when I became a mom and I had three little boys under the age of 4, I was like, oh, I can't really get a job right now. I need to take care of them. And so what do I do? Again, I go back to doing what I know I'm good at, and that is just talking to people and loving on people and helping people feel good about themselves. Fast forward, I did find myself back into corporate, but it was in the direct selling world. So it was the
Mhm.
space that I loved, I fell in love with, and will always love. Direct selling world, we were the very first influencers. We
Yeah.
were the people that were doing things. We just didn't know how to position it to make it easy for our customers to sell at that time. Now buttons are being pushed and it's becoming easier and easier, right? So
Mhm.
I like to say that if you were in the direct selling world, you are on the edge of everything because you were the first to lead it. Just remember that. So don't give up too quickly either. And then, so in and out of direct selling, I have been with a lot of startup companies. And with startup
Mhm.
companies, Becky, I know that you interview quite a bit of startup companies. There are so many different challenges when it comes to that. Some make it, some don't. There are some unforeseeable things that you just absolutely cannot control. One of the biggest things that I saw that we could not control was war. War
Yeah.
literally destroyed our opportunity, and so that was a big disappointment. And then I just found myself like, okay, where do I fit in? And I think I'm still having that battle of where do I fit in. So I am like, I need to do everything to make sure that it gives me everything, right? So that's kind of where I am right now in my life, but I am always and will completely remain helping women. To the core of me, I want women to feel good inside and out. I want them to feel beautiful and self loving and worthy and empowered. And that is all I care about. So I opened a boutique and I love it. I love helping people shop. I love shopping. So it's a little addiction that I have. I might as well do what I love. So I get to model these clothes and then people buy that.
That is
And
so fun. Sign me up.
so fun. So we'll have my link. I named my business after my children. It's DUJAMI. DUJAMI. So Dustin, James, and Micah, these are my babies, and they drive the fuel of the woman I am today. I like to say, and Renee and I interview a lot of people on our beautiful badass, unapologetically badass podcast, where they have reinvented themselves after 40. So we always say it's never too early or it's never too late. So we see incredible women doing things in their later ages because they know themselves more. And so here I am, a podcaster, a boutique owner, and I do some high-end sales. And then I just kind of dabble wherever I can. But a majority of my time is also spent with my grandson, who is the love and joy of my life. And that is where I am right now in my life. And so I'm not as adventurous as Renee, I like to say, but my heart is always in the right place.
That is incredible. What an intro.
I
So
love it.
good. Renee, you've got to follow that now.
I know. What the hell? Oh, should we start with the disclaimer? Are we going to start telling people?
We can do it. Go ahead. Give us the
Yeah. So
disclaimer.
if there's any moms out there with littles, you might want to put earbuds on because, I'm unfiltered.
Unfiltered episode here today.
Yep, exactly. We like to keep it real and raw. So yes, thank you so much, Becky. I'm really thrilled to be on here and share my journey with everyone. I am Renee Carbone Fleming, and I love sharing that I unapologetically inspire moms over 40 to look and feel like $1 million freaking bucks, build their $100,000 fuck it fund, and unleash their inner badass queen. Boom. So that's my brand. Badass Queen, Sparkle Queen. I've been talking about personal branding since before personal branding was a thing. I've been in network marketing and direct sales for over a decade. And I coined the Sparkle Queen brand, which led me to even become the national sponsor of the Miss America organization. Me, not a big company, not the company I was representing, but me, a mom. So I grew that, absolutely love the business. And that all led, as we get older, wiser, we evolve different things that we're interested in. And like Sierra said, we freaking love highlighting women who reinvented themselves after the age of 40 because it's such a magic sweet spot. I didn't start my business really until after 40. And I didn't know if I could sell anything. I didn't know if I could build a direct sales business, but there I was, highest level of the company, been on all the trip, did all the things, built leaders, senior executive director, all of the stuff. Great. Love it. And I don't mean to bypass that quick, but it's been an incredible blessing. But through all of that, I know I have a little bit of energy. So let's
I love the energy.
Right, okay.
Bring the energy. I'm here for it.
Through all of that, I really wanted to, during the pandemic, really wanted to be able to serve my team with more material, with more education. So I invested in my education so that I could better serve them. That all led to then me creating the Badass Queen coaching and brand accelerator courses and trainings and all that good stuff. And then that also led me into deciding to build another network marketing company. So a lot of people are like, Renee, are you crazy? How can you build two? You can't serve two masters and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I have the watch me attitude. So when somebody tells me I can't do something, I watch me. And that's what
You're
started.
Just like my 10-year-old boy. Just kidding. I can't do that. Watch me do that, Mom.
Watch me, right? Yeah, that's been my way since post-divorce. My ex didn't think I could tie my sneakers without him. And so, oh, you're going to build a business? Oh, that's cute. And I'm like, yeah, watch me. And I said some other expletives. But anyway, so that's really been my journey. And when I knew I wanted to also highlight other women, because so many people during the course, when you're in this business for a long time, people ask you, how did you do that? What did you do? All this stuff. And having those conversations and meeting so many customers and everything, you're like, wow, so many women do so many wonderful things. I didn't want the podcast to be just about me telling them or talking at them. I wanted to really highlight other women. And Sierra and I, this is a funny story because we are the epitome of stranger danger. Okay. So
Say
when
more.
parents teach their kids, like, don't talk to strangers online, right? Sierra and I connected online. And when you connect with somebody, you like follow them. And I'm like, oh, I freaking love her vibe. And then, you're commenting on each other's posts. And then, so it's like that dating thing as you're looking, right?
It
So you
was.
have like a little cocktail, then you're got the appetizers, and then you're in the DMs. And so once we connected, I had her on I did an event and I had her as a speaker. I'm like, okay, I love Sierra. Like something her and I were like, we're gonna do something together. No idea.
Married. Like we could be married. Like we're
Yeah,
opposites attract, but we're so connected. It's crazy.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's
So we can be
awesome.
so opposite in so many things, but I'm like, there's something to her that I
Mhm.
want to do something together, right? So when I thought about the podcast and building the Badass Queen brand, I'm like unapologetically badass. And I'm like, hell, Sierra, like, let's do this. But the funny thing is, we've been connected for probably 2 years. We've been
Mhm.
hosting the podcast since fall of last year, and we have never met in person.
No,
You
have
guys need
not.
a girls trip.
I know we've been saying that, but as life, like we want to do it, and then life happens, and
Yeah.
so we're definitely planning, like at least at minimum, we're gonna have
Yeah.
like a 1 year anniversary celebration. So, but yeah, that's
That's
been kind of like
incredible.
my little short journey in all of this
Yeah.
craziness. So now I have multiple things. I'm trademarking. I have to share this because I'm so really proud of this, and it's just a cool little like pinch me moment. So I am going to be recognized and receive an award for Top Empowerment Coach of the Year, which is what a blessing. Very cool, very chic at some
Yeah.
big gala in Vegas. But
Yeah.
part of that, I'm also going to be on the NASDAQ billboard in September.
Oh, that's
Right?
big time.
Isn't that
You
so?
didn't
Like
tell
that is so bougie. And
Yeah.
me. It's so fun.
I'm already like looking for outfits, the whole thing. So I'm going to be on the billboard and they have a photo shoot and a video shoot and all of that. But I'm going to name drop right here because I think it's great for me, but I'm more excited about who I'm going to get to meet. I know, Becky, I know you're a lot younger than I am, but do you know who Chachi is? Happy Days?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Like,
I really am old. Oh my God. You know that phrase, you're old when? Okay.
we
Happy
know
days.
Happy Days and she doesn't. Dang it. Okay, now you need to go look it up, Becky.
I
I
know.
mean, I think I've seen it, but it's
Okay.
not like
Probably
in the
have.
Netflix queue.
Yeah, no, exactly. But you might know of it. So there was Fonzie
Yeah.
and Chachi was the cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Chachi, Scott Baio, is also going to be recognized. And he's going to
Okay.
be there with the billboard. He's going to have his own billboard, but I get to meet and schmooze with him. I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
so
I'm
fun.
like, that's like my inner child, my little like younger self going, oh my God, I'm going to be with Chachi.
You made it. You made it.
I mean, like, yeah. So I'm going to be that
That's
sickening person
incredible.
online on social where I'm going to be posting the hell out of this stuff.
I'm here
Okay.
for it. I'm looking
Yeah.
for it. Well, and Renee, you also just launched a book, right?
I'm launching it. Yes.
Yeah. That is
So
so exciting.
that was my brain doesn't stop. I
It doesn't.
So it
Doesn't.
doesn't. And at 55, and that's why I want to do all of these things because I want women to know that it's never too late. You are
Yeah.
not too old. You can do whatever the hell you what did Sierra and I ever think, well, we're gonna have a podcast when we get older. No, we were like, we can do a podcast? Sure, why the fuck not? Right. So let's do it. And that's how it was with the book. So
Yeah.
the book is Unapologetically Badass and it's
Mhm.
called Fuck the Rules, Wear the Crown. And right. So it's not a big, intense novel. It is, as I started writing it, became very lethargic and it was more of a memoir meets manifesto.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like stories throughout my life that
Yeah.
it was like, okay, I could see how this shaped me into the person that I am today and why
Mhm.
I act as crazy as I do. But these moments and how I overcame them and with the hopes, and I wrote it not for like this, big, I've no like huge expectations of being a New York Times bestseller. I did it for me and I
Mm.
did it for that one woman that needs to hear it. That
I
Yeah.
love
needs to
that.
hear that, oh gosh, Renee, she went through this. I don't know who this Renee crazy lady is, but she
Yeah.
went through this and I really resonate with that. So a lot of it is very raw, it's very real. And it was kind of like, oh, do I really share this? And
Mhm.
but I always teach authenticity and being unapologetic. So I'm like, if I'm going to teach authenticity, and that's been my whole life, is just be yourself, then I'm going to be myself. And I'm putting it out there. So it's, yes, it's launching on Amazon and Kindle the end of June. June 25th is the drop date. So
Yes. By the
yes.
time this episode goes live, it'll be
Okay.
available. So we will make sure to
Yes.
link to it in the show notes.
Fantastic.
That is
Thank you.
incredible. And I mean, you both, you have this podcast, you have this brand, you have this book, and the whole theme is unapologetically badass. So, like, define that for us. What does that mean? What does that look like as you're telling stories about these incredible women that have reinvented themselves? What kinds of things are they doing? I'd love to hear just some examples of like what does that mean or look like? How do we add that title to our resume?
I don't know, Renee. I mean, I can't. I mean, I can't speak for Renee, but every single time we get off one of these calls with these women, I'm just like, Renee, I needed this. I
Yeah.
needed her in my life. I didn't know it, but I needed her. I mean, true inspiration. And we believe that we've inspired people, but when we
Mhm.
hear these stories, I mean, completely reinventing Becky from
Yeah.
like, I once was a boxer to now I have a whole foundation helping young kids. I once was corporate and now I am an artist. I am helping companies. I once was a mom who lost my hearing, my sight, and now I'm an author. I mean, I just like the list goes on and
Yeah.
on of how badass these women are. So, Renee pulled me into the unapologetically badass. I never really looked at myself like that. She brought it out of me, and I love her for that because I followed her for that because she
Mhm.
just was so unapologetic, and it's so attractive as a woman to really really just be okay with who you are, and that's who I feel like we have that are attracted to being on our show. So Renee, I know you
Yeah.
can probably say it so much better because it's
I love
so
you.
put in words.
Yeah, these women are incredible. And that's the thing, everyone has that inner badass.
Mhm.
And with building teams in direct sales and network marketing, we identify and we go, oh, this person's got it. This person's got it. It's just that vibe. And not everybody will express it as boldly as I do, but we all have that inner, like, oh, I'm fucking phenomenal. Like, I am just really, I'm a great human. I am bold. I am beautiful. Like, whatever, even if we don't feel it oftentimes, right? So but it's still within every single woman. I've always had this passion of wanting women, like Sierra said, to ensure that they feel like they're valued, they're heard, they're seen, and they are freaking amazing. So, and I think a lot of that, also came from a divorce. Like,
Yeah.
when you don't feel valued in a marriage, when you don't feel like you're worthy of a job or you're doing things, right? So then sometimes you tend to diminish yourself and you tend to put yourself kind of like on the little back burner and you question and, I can't share. I'm not that person. That imposter syndrome stuff starts creeping in. And, I just want women to really just feel like they can just do anything. So I am obviously quite the hype girl, but, the other thing too, and I shared with my team and I shared with my clients. So I created, somebody's like, I want your energy. I want to put you like in my back pocket, like kicking my ass every day. I'm like, oh, now you can, which mortifies my daughter because I'm like, I am immortal now. I created the Badass Queen Daily Motivation AI. So
Okay. Yeah.
it speaks like me. So if clients use it on the phone and I'm like, go ahead, here you go. Free, it's free, use it. So they're
Yeah.
like, I'm feeling down, like it's raining today. I don't feel like working my business. And then they press enter. And I swear it's like me saying, like, girl, get your ass up and we're gonna do like it is
Yeah.
motivating and it's giving, affirmations and the whole thing, but it's like having me in your little pocket. So if anyone needs a little jolt of Renee, God bless you, but I am immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I love what you're saying there because sometimes we do. We are so influenced on who we're following, what we're listening to, whether it's a podcast or social or a book that we're reading, right? That shapes who we are. And not everyone has that built into their network or built into their life. So when you're talking a little bit about reinventing yourself, or, I get questions too, like, well, how did you go from being in the sales field to being like, the person teaching people in the sales field? And how did you go from teaching individuals to now speaking on stages and doing corporate work? And I have some parallels where I'm like, okay, I can explain how I made that leap, but it feels like a leap. So if somebody is in that era of, okay, I know I'm meant for more, I know I'm ready to reinvent myself, but like that feels scary. What is your best advice or tips to kind of help someone navigate what this next version of themselves might look like?
Okay, I'll jump in because I'll
Yeah.
tell you, you're going to be scared to death.
You are.
That is so completely normal. And there's going to be moments, and most likely every single day. As an entrepreneur, there are so many times, and I think we can all agree that we're like, I'm done. That's it. I'm selling feet
Yeah.
pics. I am done. I'm out,
Feet
right?
pics. No
Don't lay that
feet
easy.
pics.
Take it.
Right? We're like, this is insanity.
Yeah.
I don't like, oh my God, what if I tell somebody that I'm going to do XYZ? They're going to
Yeah.
think, who the hell does she think she is? Right? Let them, like Mel Robbins says, right?
Yeah.
Watch me, like I say. Who cares? Really, at the end of the day, who cares what other people's opinions are? If you
Mhm.
have a high opinion of yourself and you know that you come from a place of authenticity and kindness and love, then do it.
Yeah.
I know that my biggest customers, clients are outside of friends and family. Now, my
Mhm.
friends and family might think I'm crazy, and I know they do, but they're supportive to a point. But I love, and I share this all the time. Sierra knows that I share the book 3 Feet from Gold.
Mhm.
Yes.
That is one of the biggest, like, aha moments when you read that and go, like, just when you're ready to give up because of the questions and us, the psyche that we have. And am
Mhm.
I good enough? Am I smart enough? Are people going to want this? Or they, when you're 3 feet from gold. So don't
Mm.
give up.
I
We
love
have to
that.
remind each other of this all the time, Becky, Renee, and I. As entrepreneurs, you have that high and that low. If you're taking a leap of faith or you're taking a new direction or you're going somewhere, I like to think of it if anybody that is on the call has ever been a part of a startup.
Mhm.
All those heartaches, right? All those aches and pains, they happen in the beginning. And what it looks like in the beginning and what it looks like 3, 5 years from now, it's not the same. You're
Yeah.
completely different. But if you didn't ever start, if that
Mhm.
company never started, you would have never had the opportunity to join it. And you wouldn't be where you are 5 years from now. So if you're going, to supporting corporate, to leaving corporate, to going back into corporate, to starting your own thing, you're going to have fear. It's
Yep.
going to be scary and you're going to always be scared, but that means you care. I had somebody tell me one time I was about to go on stage and I was going to be speaking to 10,000 people. And I just remembered like everything, my face being red, my chest being red, everything burning inside. And I'm like, ooh, and I think I was having a slight panic attack, but I don't know if that's what it was called. I could have breathed in a bag. Right. And she was like, you know what? Because you're scared and nervous, it means you really care. And I instantly calmed down. It was like this rain of like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be feeling came. So you're going to have those moments where that fear is going to kick in. And just remember, you're where you're supposed to be. And if you're still fluttering your wings and you're trying to still, like me, like I'm going to just keep getting into things. I'm going to keep putting my hands into things because I want to land somewhere, but I won't ever land probably in one place. I am a multipreneur. I want to have my hands in everything. And that is where I find my joy. We help somebody over here, or I can help somebody over here. I'm always going to land there. So, and that might mean multiple things. And people get judged for doing multiple things or for making switches
Yeah.
that just seem so unordinary. Like, oh, how dare you? You betrayed us. It's not. It's where my heart and my mind is and where it's supposed to be. So just be confident with that and know that you are where you're supposed to be.
See, you just nailed it because of the fact that, people have these expectations of what they think other people are putting us in a box, right? This is where Renee is supposed to be. She was doing this. How dare she do something else? When you let go of other people's expectations and you truly follow your passion, whatever that passion is, if you want to knit, you could be the best knitter in the world. You can build a
Yes.
fantastic business with knitting, right? You can obviously tell what our passions are the way we speak about it. And when you find what you're passionate about, that you will speak on a subject, regardless of getting paid, regardless of an outcome, that's your voice. That's what you got to explode.
I love this on so I want to go like 10 different directions all at the same time. So I'm clearly a multi-passionate person, just like you both. So I'm in good company here. But let's just take it and talk a little bit about like making a switch, because I find that a lot of our listeners, a lot of my community have found themselves in the last year of making some kind of switch, whether that's switching from one company to another or building a brand and layering in another company that they're selling through, or building their own brand on top of the direct selling products that they're representing as well. So that switch, I love the way that you phrase that, Sierra, because I totally relate with that. I remember when I decided to add another direct sales company when I was in the sales field, you know how many times I overthought what I was going to post on social? I just remember thinking, people are going to wonder what the heck I'm doing and why I would do that. And they're going to think I'm leaving the other thing behind. And they're all going to share this post and everyone's going to look at me. And I just remember those feelings in that moment. And one of my mentors told me, nobody really cares. They told me, like, in 24 hours, that post that you made about how you're adding something on to what you're doing is going to be old news. But I intensely remember that feeling of insecurity and judgment and fear of, should I tell everyone on social media that I'm doing something else? So if anyone's in that place of making a switch or adding something on or doing something a bit out of their comfort zone, what words would you share with them to just really encourage them that kind of nobody cares and nobody's watching, but yet, like, be true to yourself and do it and step out there? Because I think that that's such a familiar place for so many, especially right now, middle of 2025.
Absolutely. Renee and I have a lot of opinions on this, Becky. Renee, you want to go first?
So it does come down to being authentic to who you are and what your passion is. And when you, again, when you release that expectation, that outcome, it becomes a lot easier. And once you continue to do it, you're going to really find out, first of all, you can find out who your friends are, tell you, and that's okay, right? Because I always say, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. I like coffee, so it's all good, right? But it's knowing your audience, right? Like knowing your audience. I'm not going to be for everyone. I get that. It's totally good. I know exactly the person, the woman that I am speaking to, right? So when you know who you're talking to, when you know your audience down to like who it is, whether it's a gender, age, height, look, how they shop, how they eat, how they exercise, when you know exactly who you're talking to, you just unleash it because everyone else will watch. They may not comment, they may not like, they may not do business with you, but they're watching. And what's incredible is after you do this for a length of time and don't give up because you could be 3 feet from gold, people will come into your universe and thank you and tell you that because you are who you are, they've been inspired, or they might do business with you, or they might refer you. So if you just continue to be your authentic self, whether it's on period in life, then you're going to attract your people. You're just going to attract them. So, and you know what? When you attract your people, you're like, oh my God, this is fun. This is fun. Even, no matter how much money I make on it, this is fun what I get to do. I get to do these things. So when you have that joy from it, then I don't care if somebody doesn't like my post. Fine. I crack myself up.
Well, and I think what I'm hearing you say too is just that there's a layer of abundance, right? Like there's plenty of people out there. And even if this group is not into what I have to say, there's going to be another group that is going to resonate with
Yep.
what I have to say. And I think that gets to that real theme around being unapologetic and knowing
Yeah.
like it's okay if
Yeah.
some people think I'm crazy and some people think I'm weird and some people are maybe a little judgy of what I'm doing right now. But my people are out there, they're waiting for me. And I just need to put myself out there so they can see who
Exactly.
I am
Yep.
authentically.
It's totally
And
like
that's
that.
why you
Own
have
it.
to do
Own
multiple
it.
things. Yes,
Hmm.
own it. And this is why doing multiple things is so good, is because
Yeah.
we're growing and pulling in bigger audiences where we only had this small little bucket. By introducing and starting something new, ladies, and a few good men out there, okay, because I know men are great entrepreneurs as well. Like, it's okay to step outside, because you're just going to have a different audience that follows you, because they're going to like that. And if we got down to the true nitty and gritty, I don't give a crap. You don't know what's going on behind my closed doors.
Hmm.
I could be this close to losing my car, even though I show and share with you I am so successful on social media. But that success takes care of my house. But it is not enough right now. If I don't add another avenue of revenue into my life, I am at risk of this. People
Yeah.
don't know what's really happening behind closed doors. So do not judge what you see if somebody is jumping. A company could be close to closing and you got wind of it, because you know the direct selling world is really small. You know that it is about to go to a different direction when it comes to the affiliate marketing. And maybe you really just have a passion for building teams. And you're just like, they don't have a way for me to build a team with this revenue.
Mhm.
I might stay there, I might not, but now I need to look for something new. You have to do what is best for you,
Yeah.
always what is best for you. And people will judge, but you know what's going to happen? You're going to have new people coming to your corner. That new product that you're presenting, that new way of coaching that you're going to start doing that nobody else is, a new audience is going to come to you. And that is blissfully beautiful. And nobody can take that away from you. So
I
that
love that.
that's my message.
Yeah, so good. And I know you've shared some examples, both of you, but I'd love to hear just personally, maybe a bold move that you've made in your career, in your life that scared the living pee out of you, but you did it anyway. And it resulted in being a game changer. Because I think the more we can talk about it and the more we can normalize it and saying, here we are today, and it doesn't seem that scary now, but in that moment, oh my gosh, like it felt like such a bold move and so out of my comfort zone. Anything that you would share that just you did, you made it happen, you did it scared, but you've seen huge results because you made that one move.
So for me, it was starting my Badass Queen coaching because
Yeah.
I was in, and I'm still in the network, in a direct selling business for over a decade. And that was my soul. Like I was singularly focused on
Mhm.
my direct selling company, and making that switch or the addition to do this when I knew like I was doing this not to be like the network marketing coach for all network marketing. That wasn't my goal, and it still isn't my goal. My goal is to help women who were like me, who
Mhm.
maybe I came out of a divorce, I needed extra money. I didn't have a lot of money to spend on coaching or training, but I keep my programs where it's more available to the masses,
Yeah.
because I always go back to that person, that new leader that really doesn't have much, but they earn their first trip and they're like, oh, great, I earned an incentive trip. Shit, how
Yeah.
much is it going to cost me? Like,
Yeah.
and what you look, right? And so for me, that moment was going into transitioning and adding coaching to what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, now it's kind of like, yeah, you can hire me as your coach and I have programs and trainings and guides, or you can join one of my two opportunities and I'm your free gift with purchase. So, it's kind of like that. But transitioning into that was scary because
Yeah.
of the, judging. And, what is the team going to think, especially my
Mhm.
personal team? Like, what are they going to think? They're going to think that they can't make money. And like Sierra said, nobody knows what goes on or
What's
what
actually
what
happening?
your
Yeah.
family needs, right? So to somebody, 100 grand is like equivalent to 1 million to some
Mhm.
people, right? So everyone has a different value of money or what success looks like. So that was hard for me to kind of navigate without, sharing it with others. And then once I, got a little bit more comfortable, and it didn't take me long to then go, you know what, the hell with it. I'm going to live my life.
Yeah, I
That
love
was a big
that.
one though.
Sierra, do you have one that stands out for you?
I do. And it was extremely, extremely scary because I told you guys when I was in the military, I was in a direct selling company. And then when I got out, I went straight back to a direct selling company. And this direct selling company loved what I did in like the 3, 4 months that I was there, that they asked me to become corporate. And I fell in love with this company, and I am still in love with this company, and I cheer for it every single day. It is an iconic company that I want to stay around forever and ever. And I was with them for almost 16 years, and they just had went through so many changes, and
Yeah.
I was changing. And it
Mhm.
came down to a very last minute decision, and it came down to posting a video. And the year before, I had spoken on stage, and I'm just like, I'm not doing a video.
Yeah.
I'm not submitting a video for you to rehire me. I'm not doing it. And so I made the decision to leave. And it
Mhm.
was one of the, I literally, it was like a death. It was like a loss. It was like something had been ripped from me, a part of me. But all those people, I'm still friends with so many of them. Every single one, I have memories. They're still tagging me. Remember this, remember that. I do. And I value and I cherish it. And it was terrifying because of the income that I had left.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to ever find anything to get me back to that?
Hmm.
And that is where that fear, the gut wrenching, waking up in the morning with panic attacks, thinking, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm not going to know if I'm smart enough. I don't know where I fit in. And that was terrifying. And then shortly after, I made the decision to go back to the field. I was like, there was a brand new startup, and I was like, I'm going to do it. Even
Yeah.
more terrifying. And when I made my first $5,000 bonus and I had a team of 4,000 and then it was a team of 9,000, I was like, wait, I can do this. And it was scary. And then making the decision to go back to corporate when that company didn't make it. Right. I just like, so then everybody's like, oh, she's back in corporate now. What is she doing? Is she going to stay in? She's going to stay out? I don't know what I'm going to do. If a corporation wants my help and needs my support, I'm going to be there because I want to see them make it. I want to see them thrive. I want women to be a part of that company, win and earn. If there's another opportunity for me to join another direct selling company, absolutely. If it tickles my boat and it's a passion, I'm going to do it, daggone it. I don't care. If there is another opportunity, I probably won't do a storefront again, but if there's another opportunity to expand my boutique, you better believe I'm going to jump on that boat. I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen, right? When it comes to the podcast, okay, you want us to go on a TV show? All right, let's see. What are we wearing, Renee? Okay,
We're good.
but
We
will
Gucci.
that know? But I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah.
And so that fear left, and
Yeah.
it just you just keep going.
But like
Yeah.
You
we
just
said, I think those fears, we overcome them more because of experience
do
and
it.
Right.
because of our
Yeah.
age, right? And so that's
Right.
why this whole like over 40 thing, because you just get to a point where we've lived enough. We know life is going to be full of ish, full of it. But it's those
Hmm.
moments, right? And we know no matter what happens, we're going to overcome it. We'll get through it. There's nothing
Yeah.
that we can't get through. Is it going to be hard? Yeah, it's not going to be easy. You're going to cry your eyes out. Absolutely. There's plenty of times when I'm tears, right? But it's that women over 40, I just think are unstoppable. Unstoppable.
I think we have a lot of women over 40 listening. So I think you're speaking their love language right here. And I have about 400 more questions for you both, but I also know that I'm going to try to keep this a little bit shorter. So tell us before we wrap up, maybe your favorite quote or mantra right now. I feel like we've dropped about 47 of them in the last 20 minutes, but favorite quote or mantra that just keeps you going right now. And then let us know where we can connect with you because I have a feeling we're not done here. We need a little bit more of Renee and Sierra in our life. So give us those two things as we wrap up.
So for me, I always share watch me. Like that's literally how I built this business. I put those words watch me on post-it notes in my office. And as I was building as a single mom with two younger kids, 12 and 9, and everyone thinking there's no way she's going to be successful, watch me. And my Italian stubbornness came running out and I'm like, abso-freaking-lutely. And I still do that. I still have watch me on post-it notes.
Love that. We're
I love
watching.
her.
We're watching.
I love her. And I did. It's like she would say, watch me. And I was like, okay, I'm watching. I can't wait to hear more. I need more. I, gosh, the one that just always just resonates and believe in the beauty of your dreams.
Mm.
Okay. And I know in this world, people are telling people not to dream anymore, but stop telling people not to dream. And I know sometimes it feels far-fetched, but if you do just a little every single day, that dream could look differently. You know, how you dreamt it or how you visualized it, you could be sitting in it right now or staring at it. And 10 years ago, you're like, I dreamt this. This was a dream of mine. And, and I find myself in that dream all the time. I'm like, I wanted this. And I can cry because I'm like, I dreamt this. This was on my vision boards where I am right now. And always believe in the beauty of your dreams. Please don't give up on them. And don't think that a dream is small.
That's so perfect.
Like she's like the sugar and I'm the spice. I'm the naughty, she's the nice, right? Like we have this whole and you can tell like how it's just hysterical. I love you.
It's amazing. Well, ladies, where can we listen to your podcast? What's your favorite social platform to hang out on? Where do we go find you? Because we need a little bit more of this.
Yeah. So Unapologetically Badass, wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, we're all over everything. And you can connect with me. Love for everyone to be part of my community. Renee Carbone Fleming on whatever social media channel you are on.
I love it.
Yes, and I'm on everything too at Sierra Whitener. I kind of just stick with my name as well. And if you guys want to help me make money, go follow me on Facebook because that's where I make my most money when it comes to content creating. I know that's so bad because we're all like, get me from Facebook. I'm like, no, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't started posting your content on Facebook, they pay a lot better. TikTok is fun for me. It's a release. So if you just want to see a fun side of me, go there. And Instagram, I'm trying to figure this thing out. I've grown by like 500 in the last like 2 months, but it is hard. So please go find me there because if you could push a button that says follow, that would be great. I would so love you for that, but engage. So yeah. And then of course my website. And if there is something that you see on other websites or Amazon has, all you have to do is just message me and say, Sierra, can you get something like this? And believe it or not, but people have done that. And then I have posted it and put it on my website because I always like to look for the trendiest new things. And if it's not on my website, I want it to be. So yeah.
Amazing.
That's it for me.
So good. Thank you both so much for being here. So much knowledge dropping here on the episode today. I can't wait for everyone to come follow you, check you out. And I look forward to watching both of your next chapters unfold as well. So thank you again.
We look forward to having you, Becky, on the show.
Yes.
I look forward to that also. Badass queen yourself.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode is sponsored by ScentShare. ScentShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to ScentShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/ScentShare.